Number 3, your LCD will be 2x. So you will multiply every term on both sides by 2x. That will leave you an x minus 2 plus a 1 times a 2x, which is 2x. And then here the x's cancel and you're left with 2 times x plus 1. So step 1 was to clear your fractions. Now I'm going to combine like terms on the left, and that will give me 3x minus 2 equals, distribute, 2x plus 2. Now subtract 2x from both sides. I'm getting my x's together. And you can get your constants and your variables together all in one step. But I am showing all my steps. Adding 2 to both sides, x equals 4. Moving down to number 4. This denominator here will factor a 2 out because 2 is common. And that will leave you an x minus 2 times an x minus 1. Now let's clear our fractions by multiplying by the LCD. You've got a 2x minus 1, a 2, and an x minus 1. So your LCD will be 2 times x minus 1. And I'm going to multiply every term on both sides by that. 2 times x minus 1. Same thing. 2x minus 1. Here it cancels. You're just left with 3 plus the second term, the 2's cancel, and you're left with x 1 times an x minus 1. And then on the right, x minus 1's cancel, and you're left with a 4. Combine like terms. Subtract 2 from both sides. X equals 2. Now, you've got, let me see, this is the first time it's happened. I should have said it with example 3. You have x's in the denominator of the original problem. When that happens, you've got to plug this solution in and make sure it doesn't give you 0 in the denominator, because a number over 0 is undefined. But we're fine. It doesn't give me 0. And then on this one, x equal 2 also does not get me in trouble. If I had gotten a solution of 1, that would give me 0 in the denominator, and you'd have to throw it out. It's called extraneous. Number 5, I'm going to multiply through by 6, because that would be my common denominator. That would be my LCD. Remember, by your second step, you're not going to have fractions anymore. So that's going to give me the 6's cancel, and that's going to leave me a 5k minus a 12k. Multiply the 1/3 by 6, and that gives you 2. 3 we're going to 6 2 times, that gives you 4. Combine like terms, that gives me negative 7k plus 2 equal 4. Subtract 2 from both sides. Notice I'm not showing as many steps as we go along. And that's k equals a negative 2 over 7, because you divided both sides by a negative 7. Now let's go to the next page. In number 6, you need to multiply both sides by either 35, or since you've got one fraction equals to another one, you can cross multiply. So that gives me 5 times 3x minus 2, isn't that nice? Equals 7 times x plus 2. Cross multiply. And that's 15x minus 10 equals 7x plus 14. And let's subtract 7x from both sides. And that will give me 8x. Let me see, 15x minus 10 equal, that'll give me 8x. And go ahead and add 10 to both sides. Can you jump to that? That will give you 24. And that gives me x equal 3. And number 7, are y'all getting tired of this? It's the same old thing, isn't it? Multiply both sides by 3 and a p minus 1. 3 and a p minus 1. 3 and a p minus 1. 3's cancel, and you're left with p minus 1 times 3p minus 1. And then p minus 1's cancel, and you're left with negative 2p times 3 is a negative 6p. And then nothing cancels on the right. You're left with 3p, p minus 1. So this is different. We're going to multiply two binomials on the left, and that will give me 3p squared minus p. Wait, let me see. 3p squared, I'm distributing this p. 3p squared minus p. Now distribute the negative 1. Negative 3p. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Bring down the 6p. And that's going to be 3p squared minus 3p. Now look. These 3p squareds, it looked like, thought for a minute we were going to have a quadratic, but they cancel out. So I'm left with negative 4p. That's negative p minus 3p. Plus 1. Oh, I could have combined that one. I missed it. Equals negative 3p. Go again. That's negative 10p plus 1 is negative 3p. And let's add 10p to both sides. And that's plus 10p plus 10p. That gives me 1 equals 7p. Divide both sides by 7. We get 1 over 7 equal p. Example 8. Denominators are 3 and 6. We're going to multiply everything by 6. That's my LCD. This is a term, and then this is a term. Now you do not multiply the 6 times the 2/3 and the 5x minus 1. If you had 2 times 8 times 3, do you multiply the 2 times the 8 and the 2 times the 3? No. Choose one. Excuse me. 3 we're going to 6. 2 times 2 is 4. And I'm going to do another step to get rid of those parentheses. Plus 6, that's 1 times 6. Here the 6's cancel, and you're left with 2x plus 3. So that's going to be 20x minus 4 plus 6 equal 2x plus 3. And that's 20x plus 2 equal 2x plus 3. And let's subtract 2x from both sides. I get 18x plus 2 equal 3. 18x equal 1. I subtracted 2. These last two problems were similar. And divide both sides by 18. X equal 1 over 18.